Hi, a very good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss a discussion question which is dealing with the dependency of human beings today. The two opinions here, some people think that individuals today are more important, are more dependent on each other. Others believe that they have become more independent. We are going to discuss both these views and give your opinion. So we have two opposing arguments. Argument number one is individuals today are dependent on each other. Argument number two, they are more independent. So let's see the thing here, the argument A, that is we can see that the individuals today are more dependent on each other. Argument number B, that they are independent. So if we are going ahead with a B, if this is your opinion, if you are agreeing to B, not A, if you are agreeing to B, it should be presented in body paragraph 2. If you are agreeing to argument number A, then again you have to place it in body paragraph 2. And if you have a neutral opinion, you can present it in either body paragraph 1 or 2. Right now, we have to say that we have said that people are more dependent. So when people are more dependent, we are going to prove that people are more dependent. I agree to that view. I have to write that in body paragraph 2. And here I have to write this in body paragraph 1. So people are becoming independent will be coming in body paragraph 1. And people are becoming dependent will be there in body paragraph 2. It is based on your opinion, you are placing the paragraph, you are discussing the paragraph. And if you have a neutral opinion, you can place it anywhere. If you are going with a 50-50, you can present it anywhere. Right now, if we have a clear-cut opinion on a particular argument, you particularly write it in the second part just before your opinion and conclusion. So you are going to give your opinion and conclusion at the end. So just before that, you're going to present that paragraph which you align to. Now, let's move ahead with the first particular part, that is the introduction of this particular thing. There exists a debate on the level of independency of humans today when compared to the past. So the level of dependency is the question. So here is the topic of this two arguments. These two are a group of people, they argue on this particular topic. The topic is the level of dependency. So this is the core topic of argument. Group A argues that the level of dependency of humans are more. Group B, the level of dependence of humans are less these days. So actually these are the reasons for the argument. We need to extract the reason, the core of this thing. The core is identified as on which topic the argument is based on. The argument is based on the level of dependency. And where we are comparing, why we are doing, why we are going ahead with more and more. So we are not comparing more dependent and less dependent. We are going to compare with the time frames. So we are dealing with at present. So we identified that with the time frame is identified by the word today. So the word today represents the matter is up to date. We are dealing with today. So the time frame is today. It means that we are comparing today with something, some other time frame. So definitely it is understood from the question that we are not going to compare today with a future. We are going to compare today with the past. And this is what we are going to see. Today with the past. So a comparison is necessary somewhere in the essay. It is also understood. We understood that a topic is there on which the argument is going on. We identified the topic as the level of dependency. And we have said that there are two time frames here. The time frame number 1 is the past and time frame number 2 is at present, that is today. So this is what we can say. Now let's go ahead with the introduction in detail. The first sentence deals with the topic. The second sentence deals with the argument number 1 and 2. And the third sentence deals with what you are going to say in the essay. What you are going to say in the essay is there in the last sentence. You are going to discuss these things before framing your opinion and a conclusion. Before that, you have to identify the topic. We extracted the topic. You presented that in the first sentence. The second sentence, we said that there are two arguments, number 1 and 2. It's clear. And what we are going to say in the essay is said in the third particular sentence. When we move ahead, we can say on the one hand, we can say on the other hand here. Sorry. On the one hand, the cardinal reason why some people believe that people have become more independent. So we are dealing with independency. People have become more independent today is because of the financial freedom. To be precise, today's people are more competitive and are financially independent at an early age when compared to the past. So we have seen people becoming financially independent, and this enabled them to live a life as per their wish. Yes. His shift to attention towards technology is another factor, and is not evident by his physical dependence, but also by psychological dependencies. So who is this his? Another question. Today's people know. I can say it is people. People's shift of attention towards technology is another factor, and is not evident by their physical dependence, but also by psychological dependence. People's shift of attention towards technology is another factor which makes them independent, and is not only evident by their physical dependence, but also by psychological dependence on it. So people have financial freedom, at the same time people have technological power, so that they don't need others there. to explain it further, modern man is more dependent on technology than interacting each other. So I think I go with another in short, because we are just briefing it. In short, modern man is more dependent on technology than interacting with each other. Okay. On the other hand, those who feel that, so the first paragraph deals with the independency, why some people think that people are becoming more and more independent these days, because of two reasons. Number one is the financial freedom, and number two is the shift of attention towards technology. That's the second reason that we can say. On the other hand, we have specialization in every field. Why people are becoming more dependent? Why some people say that people are becoming more dependent these days? What is the reason? If you analyze, we can see that we can see specialization in every field. Each field is specialized, which makes people more dependent to live a quality life today. And we have an example. Doctor can hardly work independently today. Now he cannot go with that. He cannot work independently these days because he needs a collaborative services of lab technicians, nurses, or other specialists. So he needs, say for example, an ENT needs collaborative services of an ophthalmologist, maybe with a neurologist. So everything is interconnected. So he needs the service of the diagnostic procedures, the radiologist, the lab technician, the pharmacist, the nurses. So he needs the collaborative services. In the past, they could live independently, they could perform independently, but right now we can't do that because without the assistance of nurses, without the assistance of lab technicians, it's not possible to run smoothly this thing. In fact, the number of members who has to essentially interact each day is swelling. So the number of people who has definitely those who have to integrate and interact is increasing and increasing and increasing, as the world has now come under one umbrella of globalization. So the world is now under one umbrella of globalization. And this is the reason why people are made to essentially interact with each other. That there is no other way. They have to interact with each other because the world is becoming globalized. Now, the collaborative research which we saw in the vaccine research against COVID-19 is a pertinent example of this increasing interdependence. So you have a successful research for the pandemic, which is right now going on. So we have found a vaccine, not one vaccine, at least around 10 to 15 vaccines we have in the market, which is approved by the World Health Organization. So all these things were made very fast by the pharmaceutical companies by exchanging the ideas. So increasing collaboration. Without this dependence, without this interdependence, this would not have happened anywhere. So if you say that they are independent, they just work as independent firms, this much fastness or swiftness would not have been evident. So this sort of collaborative services, they exchange their ideas, their findings to other group, they exchange this thing, and finally we have found the vaccine. This is a success story that we can see as a very quintessential example for this thing, for dependence, not independence, dependence. And at the end, I can say, to conclude, though the life of humans appears to have gained social and economic independence, I believe that the fact is just the opposite, that globalization is gaining wider acceptance. Now, we can say, though the life of humans appears to have gained social and economic, we have social independence here. We have social independence because we don't have the orthodox culture here, orthodox tradition. We all are moving away from that. So we have gained social independence and economic independence. We have a lot of money now. We have the money power, the financial freedom is there right now. I have got more financial stability. I have got more social stability. So they have their own social and economic independence. But actually, the fact is entirely the different, because you now say that globalization is gaining wider acceptance. So you are encouraged to interact each other. The number of people who have to interact each other is increasing and increasing. So we have discussed both the areas, argument number 1 and argument number 2. Argument number 1 is about independence. Argument number 2 is about dependence. So we finalize that dependence is seen more than independence. Yes, we have independence in some cases, but in most of the cases, we need to interact with each other. And each day, the number of dependent people are moving up. It's not declining. Okay, and that is the end of your task 2 explanation. So please look at the question once more. Thank you.